Offshore market sentiment was fairly subdued overnight, and this saw equities decline and also took the New Zealand dollar lower with it. Now, the catalyst for these moves is actually a little bit unclear. The big event for the night was the much-awaited Spanish bond auction, and we actually saw fairly reasonable demand at this auction. So to see confidence decline after these results came out was a little bit surprising. Following this, we did see some weaker US economic data, which may have contributed to the slightly weaker sentiment. In particular, we saw initial jobless claims tick up over the past week, and that does raise some concerns about the strength of the US economic recovery. Now, the New Zealand dollar is lower overnight, and if we look at the trend over the past week, we have seen the New Zealand dollar steadily ease. It looks like we could finish the week with the New Zealand dollar lower a full cent against the Australian dollar, the US dollar, the euro and the pound. The key event for Australasian markets yesterday was the release of the March quarter CPI. This came out as an increase of 0.5%, which was in line with market expectations, and as a result we saw very little market reaction. However, the increase was slightly lower than the Reserve Bank of New Zealand's forecast at the March MPS. They were looking for an increase of 0.7%. Now, the weaker result really does highlight how subdued inflation pressures are and the absolute lack of urgency for interest rate increases. Now, over half the increase of Q1 CPI was actually due to an increase in tobacco excise taxes, and if we had excluded this, inflation was even weaker. Now, the high New Zealand dollar is playing a key role in the weakness in inflation pressures and is seeing the prices of retail imported goods continuing to decline. Now, we expect that inflation will fall towards the bottom of the Reserve Bank's target band, which is 1 to 3%, over 2012. And as a result, we do expect interest rates to remain low. We continue to expect the Reserve Bank of New Zealand will wait until December before it starts to increase the OCR.